Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Mythgard in Middle-earth. I am Corey Olsen, the Tolkien Professor, your host as always. It is good to be back again. I was away last week as I was traveling on the road, and I've actually not even logged in pretty much since last time. I've been all over the place. But it's great to be back. Hi, Gryfflet. Good to see you again. Thanks for waiting. Oh, yes, so you've been hanging out here with Lyrdon, I see, right? You felt you were a little underdressed before, so you put on your snappy new outfit. That's very nice. Okay, good. And so I hope you and Lyrdon have come to, sort of a better understanding of each other. I know he's a little bit confusing at times, but that's okay. So we're going to resume our adventures on behalf of Goladir. So after the tragic death of Lorniel, his daughter, whom we tried like anything to keep alive, and Gryfflet, I want you to know it's totally not your fault. This is not another Walking Tree episode. You totally did everything you could possibly be expected to do to keep Lorniel alive. But then you were just totally railroaded into letting Mordirith kill her at the end. But anyway, we saved Goladir, who's a bitter now, and so we rescued his stuff. Last time we did go and we got his stuff, his sword, his shield, and his armor, his mail. But it's got cooties now, remember, right? It was being held by the enemy, and so it has to be sort of cleansed and fixed again. So we have to bring it to his people. Lyrdon says we have to go to the Dunedain. So we're going to Esteldine to find Direvun, to bring him Goladir's stuff, and coincidentally convey to him news about, hey, Kimley, how's it going? Convey to him news about, like we found Goladir and he's still alive, and they're up in Angmar, and they've established this whole, outpost up there, and they're like totally, I was just in Carn Dum, by the way, and this guy, Calder Cobb from Coombe, actually had a key to the gate of Carn Dum, which I'm still trying to wrap my brain around. It really puts that whole thing in a different context, right? When you're doing the prologue quests and you're trying to thwart Calder Cobb there in Coombe. If you think back to that... hey, Kiriana. If you think back to that that whole sequence with... here, sorry, I need to change my sound settings a little bit. If you think back to that whole sequence with the knowledge that Calder Cobb has a key to Angmar, a key to Carn Dum in his pocket the whole time, it really brings you to look at Calder Cobb in a totally different way, I find. But anyway, okay, let's see what we can do. Probably gonna have to tell Aragorn eventually that we found Goladir. He'd probably want to know that. After all, this guy who was rebellious, admittedly, right? He broke the command of his chieftain, and yet, clearly there was... Oh, wait, I came in the back door. I always get a little disoriented when I come in the back door there. Okay, let's go find Direvun, who I believe is over here, near where Halbarad was. I wonder what Halbarad is up to. Is he still talking with the people? Remember, we brought together... the dwarves and the elves and the men here with Halbarad to talk about, do a little council up here. See if we can get the North Downs. They were meeting in here. Are they still in here? Let's go see. Yep, still hard at work. That's where we are here. Okay. Hey, Halbarad. Yep, look at this. He's still got everybody at the table. But Nellie Boskins is still apologizing. Yeah, and there's Gildor and Dory. Oh, man. Halbarad, Gildor, and Glorian, and Dory sitting around a table, right? I mean, how awesome is that? Okay, you guys keep up the good work. I'm sure you guys are coming to some excellent plans up here. Chronicle of the Mount Graham Invasion? Did I ever see that book before? There's a Chronicle of the Mount Graham Invasion. Hang on. Can I read it? No? No, I can't. I can select it, but I can't right-click it. I'll just jump up and down in frustration. Why can't I read the book? Can I read the book? Can't take the book? Can't read the book? Do I have to read of Arthedain and its settlements first? No, I don't really want to do the Ruins of Arthedain thing. Oh, well, I wanted to read the Chronicle of the Mount Graham Invasion. That's what I wanted to do. Is that so much to ask? So, like, is this... It's not a lending library, Halbarad? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I can't even stand there and read it? What's this? Is it a coat of arms? Whose coat of arms is in here? Well, look out. Gryfflet. Seriously. Okay. What is that? Is that a ship? Oops. Is that a red ship in the middle? Hard to tell. Huh. Kind of looks like it might. And this is a serpent up on top? So this looks like a coiled serpent up here. And then these yellow things. And this looks like a ship. Like a big ship. A big golden ship. Kind of like our Pharazon's ship, the Castle of the Sea. It looks a little Castle of the Sea-ish, right? And it's yellow, our Pharazon the Golden. Okay, and then this is a red ship. Or is this the mast? Is this the mast and sail of that ship? Just the background has changed. Yeah, okay, no, yeah, that's what I'm going with here. Okay, so we've got the mast and the rigging and the red sail. So a golden ship with the red sail. That's sounding Numenorish to me, but it's nothing like the Numenorian iconography we've seen in other places in the Dunedain settlements and, like, you know, over in Numenus. Huh. But who else would have a ship on a shield in their coat of arms? So we've got a shield with a ship on it, and I don't know what those black things are. Eagles? The Eagles of the Lords of the West? So I don't know. Yeah, I'm reaching here. But anyway, this is a helmet, right? It looks like a helmet, and then a serpent up on top. Huh. Weird. Now we know that serpents are involved in the, you know, like the Ring of Barra here, which is the, you know, the sort of the sign, the signet of Aragorn's house, ever since, you know, Beren and Luthien. Well, Beren anyway. And Barra here has the serpent with the, you know, the serpent devouring its tail, like the Ouroboros sort of thing. Oh, but man, that's nothing like that. It looks like its head is rearing up here, and its tail is over there, and it's got some, like, messy coils. What is up with that? It's in a frame, as if it were some kind of historical thing, not as if, like, it's, hey, here's my coat of arms. Wow. I like my theory, though. I like my theory that this is like the symbol of our Pharazon the Golden. Right? You've got his ship. You've got the helmet, right? With this, like, kind of ominous red visor, you know, the visor with the red shining out through the eye slits, the serpent coiled on his head, right? I mean, that seems a little dubious, doesn't it? And again, different iconography from the other Numenorian iconography. The whole black and yellow thing. I don't know. I've never even noticed that before. I don't know if I've ever sought to see if that appears other places. But Gryfflet, you're totally getting distracted by... Ooh, what's this over here? What's this? Another tapestry. What are we depicting here? Let's see. Can we zoom in effectually on this? No, back up, Gryfflet. Okay. It's a bucolic country scene. Is there anybody in it? Is it just a country scene? That would be a letdown. Lots of trees. Like a view from the forest. Is this a river running through the forest? Or a lake with an island in it? Is that a house over there? That's a bridge. That's clearly a bridge right there. An arched stone bridge. So this must be a river meandering. And there's a house. Huh. Stumped. Is there something in the tree over here? No idea. Huh. That's a tapestry I'd never noticed before either. Wait, hang on. Oh, running into a fallen pillar. There's another one over here. Is this the same one? No? No? See, this suggests it's a different scene in the same kind of setting, right? We've got the same forest setting, and is that a dude? Is that somebody sitting there on the, like on a log next to the river? Are these like sequential in a story? No, this one is just the mirror reversed to the other one, right? You got the house over here and the bridge there, and something that looks like it might be something up in the tree, but you can't be sure over here. No real theories about that. Oh, and now that my camera is angled up, I like the star. Right, we got this 7-pointed Numenorean star in the ceiling here. I'm just looking at the tapestries. I think we're going to be, is this the same? Yep, the mirror image, mirror reverse one of the dude. Is that a city in the background that you can see off in the distance there? Or is it just a copse of trees? Really hard to tell. And that's the same one. Okay, it seems to be only those two. Then another version of that heraldic thing, which I like to think is our Pharazon. Fascinating. Love what you've done with the place, Halbarad. This is awesome. But, sorry, you guys, you do your thing. You're doing important council work. I will leave you to it, because I've got totally important work to do myself, from which I am absolutely not going to get distracted. Just for the record. So, very good, Gryfflet. All right, stick to it, Gryfflet. Let's go up. So here's Cariana. She's like, where is he? He's totally gone. I have no idea what on earth he could be doing. Hey, it's Pine Wolf. Hey, Pine Wolf. Hey, okay, Direvun. Yeah, I have Goldir's equipment. Okay, yeah. Never mind. You don't want to know the story? You're just like, oh, it's Goldir's sword. Like, you don't care about, like, Goldir's still alive, found him, daughter died. Not interested in the story at all, Direvun? Okay. You think you can repair the damage to his mail shirt, but repairing the shield and sword is beyond your ability. Okay. All right. I think one of the armor smiths here in Esteldine will be able to help. Go take the sword and shield to Torum. All right, and you're going to clean the cooties off the shirt, right? It's probably all slimy. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I really admire this purple and green tunic you've got going here, Direvun. Really, like, you know, it's kind of like flamboyant, but tastefully so. And I think that's really brave of you. So, anyway, where's Torum the armor smith? No, that isn't you. I think we're going to be going over to here. Let me mount up here. Okay, Torum the armor smith. I've got a sword and a shield that need a little refurbishing. They fell into bad hands, and I don't even know I don't even like to think what those things did.
What can I do for you?
So look at this guy, Torum, the smith. He's like, Goldir lives. He wants to hear the story, right? He's interested. Direvun is totally down to business. Like, I'm focused on repairing mail. So, like, okay. Whereas the smith is like, oh, let's chat. It is an amazing thing, isn't it? I know, right? Like, you thought he was dead, and yet here he is, and yet they're establishing a new outpost up there, and it's really kind of cool. And even though Aragorn didn't think it was a good idea, it kind of seems like a good idea. I know, and right, his freedom was won at the price of his daughter's life. That is a really tragic story, Torum, which was completely lost on Direvun, but that's okay. Lorniel, she was great. Beautiful in spirit and form. What a shame. Look at this guy. He's all over it, right? You know, Mr. Blacksmith, who's all like, I'm focused on the plot. No, please, you haven't gone on too long. I think it's perfectly appropriate. In fact, you could really give lessons to Direvun about, this kind of thing. But, all right, yeah, sword and shield. Good? Okay. Sword looks of elf make. Okay, so you're gonna beg off on the sword, huh? But okay, you're fixing the shield. That's good. What did they do to that shield? I really just don't like to think. Okay. All right, Torum. What do you say?
What do you need?
Shield wasn't a problem. Okay, you've never seen one quite like it, huh? Really? It wasn't Goladir's shield. It was much older and bears the markings of the South Kingdom. Really? Huh. So, I recovered the shield that was supposed to be Are you saying I recovered the wrong shield, or that Goladir had a shield that wasn't his? Or you didn't realize Goladir had a shield of this kind? Interesting. Okay. The sword was forged by the elves long ago. Really? How long ago? It's beyond your ability to repair. Okay. All right. Well, we got to go back and talk to Mr. All Business All the Time, Darvon, and see, because this is a question that's clearly right in his wheelhouse. I'm not going to be going to Darvon with any questions about the plot or like people's lives or anything like that, as he doesn't really seem to care about that. But that's okay, Darvon. You just focus on what's important, okay? Because I got a business question for you. Without too much difficulty, I've been able to repair the shirt. Okay, yeah. All right, C-3PO. I am disappointed, though, that Torum was unable... I was disappointed, though, that Torum went on so long about these interpersonal issues concerning which I am not interested. Sorry. That he was unable to repair the sword. Yeah, okay. So interesting that the shield you found was not Galadir's. Is that a polite way of saying I screwed it up? It's quite a mystery, but we're not going to solve it. Okay. Returning to the sword, if we were to have it reforged, I think I can think of but one place where there are elf smiths of sufficient skill to repair it. Wait, I think I know too.
What do you need?
Travel to Rivendell. I totally saw that coming. Speak to Master Elrond. He's probably going to send me to somebody else, as he's not a smith himself, I think, but will send us to one of his smiths, whom I've met, by the way. I mean, I witnessed the reforging of Andúril, for crying out loud, so yeah, absolutely. All right, let's make haste to Rivendell. Absolutely, we will totally do that. Making haste to Rivendell in order to have his sword reforged. So, okay, so the shield was the shield of the South Kingdom, by which, of course, these are all Dunedain who are saying this, so presumably South Kingdom means Gondor, right? So this is a shield of Gondor. What would a shield of Gondor be doing up here? How would he have gotten a Gondorian shield? A little bit uncertain. So that's a mystery, though not one in which Darvon has apparently any interest of solving. But the sword is an old sword of elvish make. So again, one wonders how old it is. Are we talking Glamdring and Orcrist old? Because that was an amazing coincidence, right? I mean, I think it's really easy to underestimate when they find Glamdring and Orcrist in the Troll's cave. It's really easy to overlook exactly how incredibly, almost incomprehensibly unlikely it is that they found those. I mean, the one Glamdring, I think it wasn't Glamdring, that the King of Gondolin once wore. I mean, so this is Turgon's personal sword. It's amazing. I mean, absolutely incredible. Does this mean that this sword, which was meant to be Goladir's, though who knows, maybe that's not really his, so maybe none of this stuff that I found is his. Maybe they were like, we're going to recover Goladir's stuff, when in fact what they meant, how we're really going to be restoring his spirits, is going to be stealing him a bunch of new stuff. I don't really understand what's going on here. If so, Lyrdon has some explaining to do. I can't help but think. But we'll see what happens. So he had... we've got a shield from Gondor, somehow, and an old sword of elvish make. Now, of course, it's entirely possible that his sword could be, inherited. It's not unlikely that one of the Dunedain would at some point, in the ancient past, or certainly a time that would seem ancient to men, would receive a sword from the elves who were his allies, and would, let me not fall off this bridge and into the river, as that would be a fun little episode to have happen here during the stream. Always a risk at Rivendell, though, falling off the bridge and into the water. Okay, so... there's the doors. There we go. Got it. And of course, it's a very traditional thing and something that we see happening at many points in Tolkien stories. That swords, of course, Narsil being the biggest and most obvious example of this, but swords, of course, were extremely valuable, and finely made weapons would be handed down from generation to generation. Having an ancient sword, with a name and with a name and lineage. Remember, the name and lineage of Aragorn's sword is carved on the scabbard that that Galadriel gives him in Rivendell. So, hey, Pine Wolf, yeah, Pine Wolf just jumped down here next to me here. All right, hey, Elrond. So there's a sword.
Fate brings you hither.
Yeah, Goladir. So you know Goladir, right? Oh, so you're interested in his stories. I guess it's just Darvan who's totally locked in, I guess. It pleases me to know that he lives, but it grieves me that this false king was able to break him so. I know, really? It's just sad the way he was tortured like that. That a wraith has returned to power in Angmar troubles me even more. Right, understandably. I've never heard of Mordirith. That is a mystery upon which I must dwell. So yeah, who is this Mordirith wraith dude who is setting himself up as the false king of Angmar? A question to be asked, Elrond. Go to Hemeldir. That's what I figured. You'd send me to Hemeldir, the guy who reforged Narsil. If he can reforge Narsil, he can probably handle this. So absolutely. Let's go sort that. So taking Goladir somehow. I still kind of wish that I knew, or again, maybe I don't wish that I knew exactly what has been done to these weapons, that they need to be purged, cleansed, reforged. Again, I don't really understand exactly what's gone on here, but that's okay. All right. I know just where to find Hemeldir. I remember him from our fun Narsil days. So we'll just head right back up there. Thinking about the shield from the South Kingdom, it's possible. Maybe it might seem I just fell in the river. Thrice blasted thing. Come on, Gryfflet. Swim, Gryfflet! Swim! You can make it! Can I get out over here? No. Yes! Hooray! Okay. Honestly. I totally jinxed it. I'm getting a lot of lag this morning here. Alright, Gryfflet. Now that you've been washed downstream. Alright, focus, Gryfflet, focus. Okay, I was talking about the Shield of the South Kingdom before I was so rudely interrupted by that unexpected plunge into cold water. Perhaps there seems some kind of disproportion, right? Like I could imagine, for instance, right? Like you've read the Lord of the Rings, Gondor is contemporary, right? Gondor is sort of a current part of this kingdom. I want to make sure I'm headed the right direction here. These bridges are treacherous enough. I want to make sure I'm crossing the correct ones. So that is, we have this ancient elvish sword, which is probably from a bygone age, and then we have this Gondorian shield. How are those two things kind of suited to each other? It might seem, that is to say, as if the oops, about to go the wrong way. I don't want to do that. It might seem as if the elvish sword is like a much bigger deal, right, than the oh, there's the path that I'm looking for. And of course I missed it. There we are. It might seem like the elvish sword is a much bigger deal than the Gondorian shield. Like, what's a big deal about a Gondorian shield, right? I mean, Boromir is from Gondor, and he's right there. He's probably got a Gondorian shield too, right? There's nothing as particularly special about that, except remember, Boromir is the first Gondorian to come up here in a really, really, really long time. There's been no connection among them. So that a shield from the south should be up here at all is kind of weird, actually. In some ways, weirder, a bigger mystery, not necessarily a bigger deal. I mean, the elvish make sword is really probably cooler than the shield, probably more powerful, but that doesn't mean that it's less of a mystery. You see what I mean? So, okay, I can see that. Hey, Hemeldir, I know it's not Narsil, but yeah, could you reforge this thing? Minor essay in elfcraft. Yeah, I figured. I'm glad you don't think it's beneath you. Yeah, the shield. You notice the shield too? Yeah, no, it didn't belong to him. The shield is far older, really, from near the fall of the North Kingdom. So old, but not super old. We're still talking about Third Age. Okay. It's indeed from Gondor, not the North. Indeed, it looks familiar. You seem to recall its like among the royal line of Gondor. So it's a shield of the kings of Gondor around the time of the fall of the North Kingdom? Okay. You'll speak to Master Elrond about this later, but okay, yeah. Meanwhile, the sword. Yeah. Why don't you attend to that sword? This is a serious... We're, like, removing the cooties from this sword in a really permanent kind of way. Look at that. The Silithar have all been lost to time, except that one. But why are we talking about that? Seems a bit of a non sequitur there, Hemeldir. Or do you just like to chat about the Silithar as you're forging? So, okay, it's a little... Hey, I'm right here! Where are you... Just walked right... Can I... Excuse me, sorry. There! Okay, the task is complete. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. It little resembles the weapon from which it was birthed, but I believe it will better serve its master. Okay, so you just basically remade him a new sword out of the old sword. Okay, that's fine. So we have the forged sword. Thanks, Hemeldir. I'm going to go back to... Wait, I collected his mail shirt. When did I lose his mail shirt? Did he... Did Tyrvin, like, mail it to me or something? Okay, that's all right. All right, I'm going to go around the north side of the market, and I'm going to... Man, I'm having lag problems in Rivendell here today. No problem. Where am I going? This way. Got to find a narrow bridge to fall off of, and I know I'm headed the right direction. That was daring. Okay. All right, so I was going to try to answer a question, but I'm like so focused on trying to navigate Rivendell successfully that I'm completely... All right, so a Gondorian shield from that seems to be like a shield worn by kings in the southern line, that is kings of Gondor, around the time of the fall of the North Kingdom. That's when Hemeldir would date this shield. Okay. Not Guladir's shield. So again, the idea is not that Guladir had this collection of artifacts, Elvish sword, Gondorian shield. So I did get the wrong shield. That's embarrassing. I mean, it's cool and everything that we ended up with a interesting, mysterious shield, but I was kind of looking for Guladir's shield. But that's okay. Alright, I'll talk to Elrond about the sword and ask him about the shield, see if he's heard the rumors, what Hemeldir had to say about this. Boy, there are statues of Luthien just everywhere in this place. Okay, Elrond.
A strange fate brings you hither.
Okay, as always, Hemeldir's mastery shows forth in the work of his hand. I know, isn't he awesome? I think he's awesome too. This sword shall henceforth be known as Dunachar, Avenger of the West, for it shall avenge the death of Lorniel, daughter of Guladir. Well, isn't that nice? I'm sure he will like that. Dunachar. Excellent. That'll cheer him up no end. Dunachar is a fine sword, and I foresee that one day the steward of Angmar will rue its forging. Yeah, I bet he will. Go now, return to Lyrdon and bring him Guladir's gear. I hope that Guladir will see his despair for what it is, the machinations of the enemy. Lyrdon awaits you at Gathforth near in Angmar. Okay, all right. We will head straight back over there, and I will bring the stuff up to... In fact, I'm going to cheat. Totally going to cheat. Actually, I probably shouldn't do that. I might need that later. Never mind. I was gonna milestone up there, but I think I'll just take the... Since I can... Whoa! Go directly to Gath... My lag issues just are not improving here. See if I can... since I can just take a fast horse, I'll do the fast horse thing instead of milestoning, because I might need to milestone back from some desolate place or other in Angmar. In the meantime, I'm going to attempt not to fall in the river while I answer a question. And the question is from Mike, who says, why was Faramir not tempted nearly as much to take the ring as his brother? Really good question. And the answer is that Faramir is more awesome than his brother is, and that's really why. That actually kind of is the answer, but I'm being flippant. No, the reason is because of Faramir's character. So I'm making a grimace not only because I'm falling in the bloody river again. Hey, oh, he saved it! Gryfflet saved it! Don't fall off the cliff. Okay, boy, this is like much worse than my usual lag that I meet in Rivendell. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if other people have been having lag issues today, but yikes. One more bridge. I got my fingers crossed. Can I make it? Anyway, okay. Faramir. So I was making a wry face not only because I was falling in the river, but also because I was reminding, my own train of thought was reminding myself of many conversations I've had as an English teacher with students. Often when people are trying to do the good English student thing, especially if you're reading something like Shakespeare or something, people often talk about like the tragic flaw. Like, what is his tragic flaw? What is Hamlet's tragic flaw? Everybody wants to know what their tragic flaw is, as if it's... And I get a little bit impatient with that kind of talk because it's not, it's not as simple as that. It's not like there's like that simple of a formula. The whole conception of the tragic flaw is actually based on a complete misunderstanding.
What can I do for you?
But anyway, never mind. The important thing is, it's sort of not that simple. So I was about to start talking about Boromir's flaw, and it's I don't want it to sound like I'm just talking about like his tragic flaw, like in that sort of English major BSE kind of way. But what was Boromir's problem, right? Think about how Faramir talks about Boromir. Boromir was always he was brave and he was forthright and he.
How can I be of service?
So I'm not going to this. Sorry, stable master. I'm totally going inside because this is actually my destination. Boromir was basically his weakness was his desire for glory, right? And Faramir is very frank about this, right? He sought always for the victory of Minas Tirith, and then Faramir adds, and his own glory therein, right? Faramir knows this about Boromir. He recognizes that a lot of Boromir's own thinking, a lot of Boromir's own desires are all kind of tangled up, not just in I objectively, abstractly wish to see the best for my country and everything else, but he's seeking his own glory. He's promoting himself as well. Faramir knows this about him, and this seems to be, we can hear this in Boromir's own. If you want to know, like, the way I would approach this question looking at the text is start with Boromir, right? Rather than starting with saying why doesn't Faramir fall, start with why does Boromir fall, right? Why does Boromir give in to the ring? And the best place to look for that is in what I call his ring-induced monologue, right? When he's talking to Frodo, and he is going off and he's giving voice to his desires and plans and everything. You can hear the rationalizations. You can hear, you can sort of hear how the ring is working on him, how the ring is tempting him, what kind of opening the ring has exploited in order to corrupt him. And that's, he, in his own fantasies that he's having as he's talking to Frodo, we see him set himself, not only lead the free people to victory against Sauron and liberate everybody, but we also see him setting himself up as a king, benevolent and wise, right? He is, in the end, seeking to increase his own power, and his own power and his own glory is kind of at the root of those things. So then when we turn to Faramir, what we see is the same courage, the same bravery, the same devotion to duty, but as the narrator tells us, Faramir seems like a man less self-regarding than Boromir. That's the phrase that's used about Faramir. That's the key, in other words. That's the chief difference between the two of them. Ultimately, what I would say is Faramir is more humble than Boromir. And it's humility that is ultimately the kind of antidote to the ring, right? That's why Frodo, and that's why a hobbit in general, Frodo in particular, is able to carry it and to forbear the ring for so long. Why even Gandalf himself feels that he would be in trouble if he took the ring, that he doesn't trust himself not to give into it. Hobbits are naturally humble and less self-regarding, less prone to think of themselves in sort of grandiose terms, and to kind of succumb to that desire to dominate the wills of others and rule, right? That's where the ring really works on you. Boromir has that. Boromir's susceptible to that. Faramir is more humble. He's not self-regarding. His love for Minas Tirith is really more selfless. He's not seeking his own glory. He's not perfect. He has his weaknesses as well. I think that Denethor, when Denethor is taunting Faramir later on, when he returns to Minas Tirith in The Return of the King, and we meet him again, when Denethor taunts him, saying, "Always you seek to be like one of the kings of old, wise, just, and generous." I think he's right. I think Faramir does see himself that way. Faramir does have a certain kind of pride, right? He does. It's not that he doesn't think of himself at all, but the way that but even his own kind of ambitions to be like one of the old virtuous kings helps him really to resist the particular kind of temptation that the ring itself offers. And of course, Sam is the humblest of all of the characters. This is why he is the most awesome and the ultimate hero of the story. And this also is why, Sam is the one who triumphs and who maintains sort of his perspective through all of these things, even though he himself was a ring bearer too for a short time. But anyway, so that's my probably longer than necessary answer about Boromir and Faramir. Meanwhile, let's get into Lyrden here. Hey, Lyrden, I got some stuff, some weird stories to tell you. Got a semi-new elf sword, refurbished mail, and there's the shield business.
The sorrows of the Eldar.
Dunachar, yeah. You can feel the virtue in it. Ooh, good job, Turbine people. They're using virtue in the old sense, the sense in which Tolkien so often uses it. Virtue means power. Not power in the Sauron, I will achieve domination over others kind of sense, but merely like efficacy, the ability to do stuff, right? So if you ask something like, what are the magic powers of this weapon? The word that they would use about that is virtue. What virtues does it have, right? That's why you can hear, you may remember this comes up in the scene with the Herb Master, right? When they're talking about Athelos, and he says, I didn't know it had any virtue, right? That's what he means. That I didn't know it had any power, it could do anything, right? So when he feels the virtue within it, it doesn't mean like moral virtue, right? It means virtue in that older sense. You can see this again, to use a different context. The King James Bible uses virtue in that older sense too. If you read the King James version of the New Testament, like the story in the New Testament, for instance, when the woman with the issue of blood touches the hem of Jesus's garment and she is healed. In modern translations, it will say that Jesus knew that power had gone out from him, right? He knew that like a miracle had happened, and he's looking around and saying, "Who touched me?" Right? In the King James, it says, "For he perceived that virtue had gone out from him." Same thing, right? Power, something just happened, something was just done, right? So virtue in that sense. Okay. And what did you say about the shield? Yeah, not Galadir's. It shall have to make do. He doesn't care about the itch. Well, okay, we got a second-rate shield, right? We'll have to try to palm off the wrong shield. No, I'm not trying to make you feel guilty about getting the wrong shield or anything, Gryfflet. But okay, fine. Lyrdon is less interested in the mystery, even than Direvon was, but that's fine. Okay. I'm still collecting things back. Collect Dunachar and the Gondorian shield and the shiny refurbished mail, and this is Lorneal's quarters. Yeah, they're probably closed now, right? Yeah, we can't go see Lorneal anymore for obvious reasons. Yeah, Galadir's probably shut up her room, and he's like, I want to leave it just like she left it, right? He seems like that's kind of the thing he would do. All right. Galadir's returned, but he's not the man you once knew. There is no hope for my people. There is no Estelle, huh? I know, right? I think maybe there is, don't I? We'll see. All right. Hey, it's Pine Wolf and Curiana and our friend the Grass. Yeah, the bog monster here. Hey, Galadir. I have a series of presents for you. Your mail shirt. Yeah, I know, right? And Direvon buffed it up for you and everything. It's a thing of wondrous beauty. Well, he did a fine job, I agree. Yes, this is your sword, right? Forged long ago by the elves of Rivendell, an heirloom of my family. See, just as I guessed, okay. You thought it lost forever, but it's now returned as Dunachar. Yeah, Avenger of the West. Yes, you'll avenge your daughter. Good, yeah, let's team up together, and time for vengeance is at hand. I agree. Let's have vengeance. Despite the strength I've seen within Angmar's bosom, it is a strength which may falter quickly. Mordirith, the false king, is a creature of great power, but you believe he may be hindered if not destroyed altogether. Okay. Right. I agree. Let's destroy him. Let's just waltz right into Carn Dum and take this guy down. You and me, Galadir, we can totally... You'll return to Carn Dum and face Mordirith. That's the spirit. Boy, Galadir isn't interested in the mystery of the shield either. I maybe didn't notice. Right, I successfully kind of just slipped that in there. Okay, time to cut the iron crown from the head of this serpent. Okay, boy, Galadir is getting his spirit back. Okay. Sure, I will stand with you, Galadir. We will pass into the vile city and face Mordirith in the throne room of Carn Dum, because we've got Caldercob's key, and that's all that matters. Gather what companions and supplies you need, for the fight ahead will be terrible. Okay. Hi, companions. Somebody want to come who might be able to heal me? That would be nice. Why don't we do that? Because I might need help. No, not from the Bog Guardian. Darn it, I can't even see past the Bog Guardian. Okay, let's see. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to invite here. There we go. All right, let's do this, Galadir. Let's take on Mordirith, the False King. I've still got Caldercob's key. We're going in. Oh yeah, there's Galadir looking ominous.
Dunachar from Elrond of Rivendell, Galadir prepares to assail Carn Dum and drive the sword into the unseen heart of Mordirith.
Ooh, drive
the murderous steward of Angmar. Nice. Courage may bring hope, but a thirst for vengeance could spell doom.
Ooh, ominous voiceover from Gandalf. So I love the image. He says we're going to drive the Dunachar into the into the what was it? The empty heart. Anyway, that was really cool. But there's an ominous foreshadowing at the end of his speech where he said that hope is good, but the desire for vengeance might lead to disaster. So, okay, Goldir, hang on. Just going to look around for a second. Nice place, Carn Dum. Didn't get much of a chance to look around. I mean, the inside while I was here before. So, okay, I guess this is the False King's banner, right? This Iron Crown-ish thing on the creepy black background. Notice how these sort of stylized flame things around the side here. They look kind of, don't they look kind of like the I don't want to stretch it. Just decorative, probably. Okay, Goldir, let's go. It seems like my long imprisonment in Carn Dum has served us well. We have come far into the Witch King's keep unnoticed. Oh, really? You just slipped us by, everybody? Wow. Okay. It would be folly to think that our fortune will hold. Already Mordirith may be aware of our presence. Steel yourself for the battle ahead. Okay. You have few words of advice to offer other than to warn you that Mordirith is a master of trickery and illusion. He will try to break your resolve with his words. Okay. So look out for the trickery. Keep to your hope. I've got that hope theme going on here, right? All right. I shall hold on to Estelle and trust my companions. Absolutely. Let's go. You already said that he was going to try to break our resolve. Let's go. Oh, hey there. Wow, that was quick. After spending much time in my care, I'm surprised you have spent so little time mourning your daughter. Oh, that's mean. Yeah, I would roar if I were you too, Goldir. It would have been better for you if I had. Ho ho. Okay. All your patient instruction. This guy's a real jerk. Viewing others through the palantir was not enough. Oh, I forgot to talk to Elrond about the palantir. Goldir, should we just charge ahead like he said here? Didn't you say about the trickery? Okay, wait. Many have tried to resist, all have failed. Do I want to join these countless failures in death? Hi, are you a failure? Am I? No, you're non-failure. You're just a bad guy. I thought he was like introducing somebody. I was expecting like a new apparition of some kind, perhaps. Okay. And boom. Okay, you Angmar citizen, you. Goldir and I are going to totally take you down. Okay, Mordirith. Now, so Goldir, remember the trickery. Don't forget the deception. Those who opposed the Witch King did so for many reasons. Some sought freedom from Angmar's yoke. Oh, see, here's apparitions. Fallen heroes. Darn it, I can't see anything. Oh, and he killed them. Oh, who sought revenge. Oh, no matter what flame burned in their hearts, the flame was extinguished. Oh, man. Extinguished by another Angmar citizen. The citizenry is attacking. I'm not going to take that sitting down. We shall strike back against the citizenry. Oh, look. Oh, look. Yes. Good job. Pine Wolf, unleash the zoo. No, I don't want to target the fallen hero. Where's the other dude? Okay. Wow. All right, Goldir. We in the menagerie are on our way. Even you learned the folly of opposing the Witch King. Really? A lesson you learned from his very hand. He instructed me like you're instructing Goldir. Thoughts of family. Whack! And brothers in arms. Whack! Oh, she was already down. Of friends and companions. Thwap! Once my lessons were complete, the man I had been was gone. Wow. Okay, so who were you? Even I, one of the Witch King's greatest foes, had become but his servant. A steward upon his throne. Oh, man. Pale folk, and they're mad! Okay. You will fail, say the fallen. The fact that these fallen heroes are fighting here in the middle is really creepy. I'm with you, Guladir. We're entering the very heart of Angmar. The Witch King built this, his throne room, to celebrate his terrible might and power. And now Mordirith sits upon his throne as steward of his realm, and he claims, oh, look, it's a palantir! Palantir! Right over here. Look, there's a palantir. Show yourself. What's on the floor? Just a design. A little creepy, though. Oh, no, it's the shade of Lorniel. Oh, that's mean. Does it change all that has been lost in your futile attempts to shower the Iron Crown? Oh, that's just... Mother was lost. Oh, that's awful. This is terrible. Guladir, it's... yeah. Only for you to see your beloved daughter lying dead at the gates of Carn Dum. Give up this vain pursuit. Oh, man, this guy plays hardball. No shame in surrendering. Don't surrender, Guladir. Don't do it. Yeah, how can I dispel the illusion? Do I whap her? Would stabbing her in the back help? That's right. Yeah, little quasi-fake Lorniel shade. Who just totally stunned me. Whoa. That's right. Nothing will make you see the truth of my words, and if my words cannot convince you of the folly of challenging Angmar, falling in battle will! Where are you going? What are you doing? Whom are you summoning? Are you? Oh, you're just attacking Kiriana? That's mean. Don't you dare. Okay, so we're fighting Mordirith. That's right. Bring on the menagerie. Pine Wolf, let him have it. Oh, wait. You can't be harmed. You're wrong. The light of Dunachar, Avenger of the West, shall strike you down. Yeah, get him, Guladir. Get him, bear. Yeah, that's right. Fall, false king. We cannot win this day. Are you sure? If I'm a... should I stab you? Can I stab you in the back of your knee? Because that seems like the thing to do. Right? I mean, I'm a halfling, right? You're a, like, Wraith King. I'm going to do you have a particularly mighty knee? Can I stab you in the sinews in the back of your mighty knee? I've always wanted to do that. Oh, Lorniel Ghost is back. We totally can win this day. It is so possible. You are facing Gryfflet now. Oh, I'm cowering. Stop cowering, Gryfflet. Come on. Oh, that's right. That's right. False King. Guladir, take him. Yeah, where are your words now, False King? This is great. You are more justly a king than he who sits before my throne. What? Take him down! With the light of Dunachar, I strike thee down, false king! Yak! That's right. Oh, boy, did you see that? One last reserve of strength. Oh, do you? The light of his blade wasn't enough? Oh, no, we're not going to meet again. We're totally taking you... Ah, base coward. I totally agree with your assessment there, Guladir. What on earth? Okay, hang on, Guladir. I'm going to take this opportunity to look around. Because, I mean, this is like the throne room of Angmar. I mean, I'm not going to get to be at liberty in here very often. Look at this. It's like a his and hers throne. Or it's like Daddy's throne and Junior's throne. I'm like, this throne is too big, but this throne is just right. Why are there the senior throne and the junior throne here? Is this like where Mordirith, the false king's steward, sits, and this is like the Witch King's personal throne? If so, there's not really a big difference between them. Notice how the upholstery seems to suggest. Doesn't it look like the peaks of Barad-dûr? Interesting. And the spikes like the Iron Crown in the upholstery. I mean, wow. And then we've got the Iron Crown here, the Iron Crown emblem in the back. So I wish we could have seen him sitting on his throne. Guladir was a little impatient, calling him to come walking down. I wish we could have come up here. Is this his throne? Was this Mordirith's throne? Right, this is where he sits and saves this one for the Witch King. I think it's got to be that, right? I mean, it's not like he has Mordirith had a junior assistant or like a, queen or something, right? Anyway, what's this over here? Hang on. What's this design? See this sunburst star thing here? This inverted crown sunburst kind of, but it's not going to be a sunburst, right? Why would in Carn Dum, why would there be a sunburst? Because it's not like Carn Dum was ever a Dunedain thing. This is not like we should be expecting to see, as in someplace like Anuminous, old, Arnorian symbols that then get corrupted. That's okay. We got the gold spiky stuff going on over here. If we look at it from down here, okay. We've got this, so this half moon arc up above. Is this supposed to be like an eye with the beams shining down from the eye? I wonder. And then there's this thing. Is that a tree? Is it meant to be a tree? Or a flower? Seriously? Like the Witch King's symbol is a flower? It's a little surprisingly, gentle of him, I have to say. The red drapes, I gotta tell you, I don't like what you've done with the red drapes in here. It's, I'd prefer tapestries, honestly. If you could dip it, can I open the gate? No, I can't wander around. All right, that's fine. If we could have some tapestries that we could interpret, that would be more fun than just lots of red drape. Though I admit the large quantity of red drapery makes it look all bloody and, ominous and stuff. But, see, look at the floor. Always look at the floor. See, this is obviously an eye. I was only looking at this in the middle, not realizing that it was the pupil. See that? Okay, so we have the eye with the beams or eyelashes or something to make like the radiant crown, right? So we have the 5-pointed crown device worked into the eye, which is also sort of like almost like an inverted peace sign, right? It's like the war sign. That's fine. So is that a sort of stylized version of that? Is that what that gold thing is supposed to be, you think? This is reminiscent, but no, it's not nearly as eye-like as that other one. See, the eye thing makes perfect sense. That there would be, sort of nods to Bard. Oh, creepy statues! I was wondering what those were. Yeah, some more of those creepy, scary, freaky statues with the living hearts, carrying braziers. And is this just like... Now, yeah, see, there's another one of those things. You can clear a view of it here above the gates. Interesting how this... because it's gold like this, I can't help but think of sunbeams when I see this. But obviously, sunbeams shining down is not... But yet it also kind of looks like a guillotine or something. It's the idea of, this sort of blades pointed downward, or a little bit more Angmar-like. This is attractive, but kind of disappointing that this isn't worked into some kind of identifiable image or pattern, like something ominous, like bones, or, I don't know, maybe too tacky, but it's kind of generally leaf and vine-like, which just doesn't quite seem the thing. Though again, I still don't understand this basic image. The tree, flower, whatever. This thing is 3 supports and then the half moon with the plant-ish thing on it. Not really sure. But let's, but of course, we've got the palantir right over here, Gullidir. Check this puppy out. Probably shouldn't look into the palantir, right? Probably not a good idea. You'd think that's likely to not end well. Some precedent for hobbits looking into palantir and not ending well. Look how huge this thing is, right? Several times the size of my head. This is definitely bigger than the palantiri were in the book. Well, this palantir, the palantir in Osgiliath, the Master Stone, was huge, like 6 feet across. This is big, very big. What's under here? Can I get under there? No. Can I peek in through? No, I can't get under there at all. Or to see if there's a design under the throne, because it'd be kind of cool. There's something down here under the throne. I guess that's lava and not gold. So they don't have like a dragon horde thing going on down here. Anyway. Another one of those things at the gate. The front gate at the doorway. They seem to be above all the doors. Yeah. Huh. Okay, Gullidir, sorry. Didn't mean to kind of take away from the moment. So where were we, Gullidir? The cowardly Mordirith had just run away when we were totally about to off him. Let's pause for a second, Gullidir, to remember that, to notice the parallelism. He was explicitly saying that he was attempting to do to you what had been done to him. So he had been corrupted, and he said that he used to be one of the greatest enemies of the Witch King, right? So, okay, that's interesting. He used to be one of the greatest enemies, but he was worn down in the same way that he is attempting to do to you, and he gave up all hope and became the instrument and tool of his enemy. So I hope we learned something from this, Gullidir.
What do you need?
He escaped us. No, I didn't notice that the blade of Dunachar was still lodged within his breast. Are you holding a broken... You are holding a broken hilt. I just had that sword forged for you, and you broke it already? I wager the pain of that blade's light shall be a constant reminder of the evil he has committed. I'm sure that'll teach him a lesson. While my revenge is not yet complete, I would wager there will be others who will complete this task. Yeah, like me, probably. For now, I can take solace in that... Wait, who's coming? Is it Mordirith? He's back. Here comes... Sara Oakheart! What? We have done well. Why are you carrying a staff? Old woman, who are you? We've rescued you twice. Your questions will be answered in time. You're still barefoot. You're still wearing rags, but you've got this awesome stuff. Whoa! Did you just whop Gullidir? Hey! Hey! Sara Oakheart is making off with the... Come back! What? She just stole the palantir. I know, Gullidir. She totally did. She just... Oh. It's gone with no way to follow her because our key doesn't work in that door? I feel we should hear from that old woman again. Yeah. Well, she's always cropping up. I mean, that's a given, but what on earth is going on with that?
What can I do for you?
That was unsettling. Yeah, much more to that old woman than we see upon the surface. I suspect so. I certainly didn't expect Sara Oakheart to come out and whap you with a stick. Yeah, how about we leave? Okay. Agreed. Let's beat. All right. We shall tarry here no longer. Yeah, I'm prepared to leave. Okay. Show me the secret way. Movie.
The gift of Dunachar, Avenger of the West, renewed Gullidir's spirit, and with the sword he avenged the death of his daughter. But though Mordirith was weakened, he was not destroyed, retreating to nurse his hurts and plot revenge. How will this help us in our struggles? Will Sauron maintain control, or will another power claim Angmar?
Whoa. Will another power claim Angmar with an ominous pan around to Sara Oakheart? I thought it was Gullidir for a second there, but Mordirith was right. Oh, that's not the way, Gullidir. Come on now, we can't be thinking that way.
I fear we have not
Mordirith
seen
has
the
been
last
weakened,
of
though
the
not
false
destroyed. The way, though, is open for others to finally throw down this false king. I wish that it had been I who had driven that foul creature back into shadow, but it is enough that I have done what I have. Yeah, you wounded him, and he's got a bit of your sword in him, so that'll be bad. You asked that if we do return to Carn Dum, finish the work that we started, strike down Mordirith. I'll make sure to put that on my list. Next time I'm in Carn Dum, I will add to my to-do list, strike down Mordirith. No problem. Although a creature such as he cannot be entirely destroyed, if we can simply recloak, that's awkward. Such a loss for him will be a great victory for the free peoples of Eriador. But you would ask more. Okay. Well, let's see. First, hang on. Let me see what you're offering here. Light armor, not so interested. Medium armor. Bit of an upgrade from my armor of Femme. Alright. Oh, ooh, foe of Mordirith. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll take this sword, actually. Thank you.
Might I take a moment of your time?
You may have many moments of my time, Gullidir. Okay, the victory is an important one, though not as complete as you had at first hoped, understandably. However, even this victory will give us a brief reprieve from the onslaught of the enemy. Tell Aragorn. Yeah, time to report to Aragorn at last, huh? Yeah, I've met him. He's at Rivendell. Good, if I go talk to Aragorn, I'm going to have to cross one bridge, so that's convenient. All right. I will brief Aragorn on what is going on. Absolutely. All right, going around the water and then across the way. And hey, Udon, you still keeping an eye on that waterfall? Made any strange moves? Made any funny faces since the last time? You're an elf, aren't you? You've got totally elf ears. Meanwhile, what's on your tunic here? No, not in your crotch. What's on your tunic there? We got leaves. It's mostly leaves. I thought there was a head in the middle, but I guess it isn't. Still, nice studs. So I got to tell you, that red and that purple, I think you must have missed color matching day, Udon, which I understand. I'm not very good at color matching myself. That's why I have Terry Edwin as my fashion consultant. Okay. Let's go talk to Aragorn and stop criticizing the fashion choices of strange elves standing near ponds staring at waterfalls. Okay, off to Rivendell we go. Wait, I acquired the File of the Swirling Waters? Really? Hang on a second. What's the File of the Swirling Waters? I just keep a file of swirling waters in my pocket? Okay. Alright. Huh. Okay, sorry I didn't notice when I obtained that. Hey, let's go back to Rivendell. Can we go back to Rivendell? Let's do that. Okay. Now notice nobody up here seemed in the slightest bit interested in the mystery of the Gondorian shield, which we just slipped right past. From around the time of the fall of the North Kingdom, and Mordirith was originally one of the greatest enemies of the Witch King. Okay. All right. Let's go talk to Aragorn. I've got so much to explain to him. Found Gullidir. He's still alive. Most of his people are still alive. He's established an outpost up in Angmar. His daughter died. We totally invaded Carn Dum. We pretty much took down the false king of Angmar. It's been busy, really. We've kept ourselves productively occupied, Aragorn. And it's not that you're not busy. I mean, I know that you are on the quest of the ring and everything. You're one of the Fellowship, but you have been just kind of sitting around here in Rivendell for quite some time. Well, we've been off doing all of these heroic things all over the place, but that's okay, Aragorn. Hey, Legolas. Yeah. What are we looking at again? Yeah, still don't really know what you're looking at, Legolas, but that's okay. You keep at it. Hey, Aragorn. I have your deepest thanks. You don't even know yet. Okay. Goldur didn't perish. Yep. Shadow of Angmar is weakened. Yep. You're of a mind that even if Mordirith does finally fall, he will someday return. Yeah, Goldur was expressing the same pessimistic outlook. Or another shadow of the enemy will take its place. Well, that's the negative way of looking at it. Still, your efforts were valiant and deserving of praise. Even though you didn't really accomplish anything, and it's probably going to be to no avail in the end, we're still glad you're trying. Thank you. My name will not be forgotten. I'm glad to hear that. Is this a cool dagger? This is kind of a cool dagger. But there's also a club. You've got this club, which is also slightly cool. How about your ring here? No, not interested in your ring. I'm interested in the dagger.
Greetings.
Okay, there we go. Okay, Gandalf the Grey, currently in Bilbo's room, should be informed of the actions of this Sara Oakheart. Yeah. I've encountered her all over the place. Saved her butt several times. We met her by Ivar the Bloodhand, right? She was like right under Ivar the Bloodhand in a tunnel surrounded by disembodied arms, and I saved her. And then I saw her again in Fornost, right? Rescued her there with some difficulty, mind. And she stole a palantir now, right? I mean, she comes out of nowhere and steals a palantir. Few have knowledge of them. Fewer still can use them with purpose and accuracy. I'm surprised Aragorn still isn't all like, what the heck? There's a palantir? I mean, that's big news, really, as I talked about last time. Anyway, her designs on such a powerful item bode very ill. Agreed. Okay, I'll go talk to Gandalf, though it does mean crossing additional bridges. Looks like we're just about done, but I'll go find Gandalf and we'll leave. We'll sign off after that. All right. Off to find Gandalf. Tell him about the highly suspicious, not to say perplexing, Sara Oakheart and her theft of the palantir. Maybe he could make something of what she was doing with the fancy staff anyway. I'm going to fall off the cliff, probably. I've got to get back over those bridges somehow to the last homely house. It's going to be a challenge. Can he do it? Come on, Gryfflet, I believe in you. Don't dip your beard in the foam. Not that you have a beard. Quoting the Hobbit. Darn it! Come on, stupid lag. Allow me to... Alright, almost. There it is! Hooray! Across the bridge. Okay, going up the hill, not down the hill, man. Now, the lag is not nearly as bad anywhere else. It's just Rivendell. I'm having all these quite pronounced problems. Crossing bridges. Boy, and that one was the low-risk bridge. Okay. One more bridge for the day. You can do it, Gryfflet. I believe in you. Yes! Woohoo! Safe on terra firma. Okay, Gryfflet, go find Gandalf. Gandalf is in Frodo's room, isn't he? That's where Gandalf is. Let's go find Gandalf. Hey there, Kiriana. Over in Bilbo's room, right? Isn't this where Gandalf hangs out? Yep. And there's Frodo. Hi, Frodo. Real honor meeting you. Really it is. I thought he was holding like a bow or something, but it's just the table leg behind him. And Sam's over here, right? Hi, Sam. Yeah, he's got his gloves on, right? He's doing some kind of work over here naturally. Sam's got his work gloves on. Oh, that's right, Merry and Pippin. I forgot Merry and Pippin were in here. Notice how Merry and Pippin look so much more dandified than Sam, right? They do a really good job of Sam is in much more sort of, much more peasantish garb. Much more homely clothes. I'm trying to see the front of your outfit there, Sam. Yeah, look at that. See, it's stitched and patched together. Sort of workaday weather belt, right? Whereas, Mary's all like, look at my purple waistcoat, right? And, Pippin's all like, I'm wearing orange today. His fancy pouch, presumably for his tobacco. Okay. All right. Okay, so Gandalf, Sara Oakheart, palantir, fancy stick. What do you think?
Why do you just...
The palantir, stolen. The palantir, he says, as if it's nothing, right? Like, hey, there's a palantir, holy cow! And P.S., it was stolen.
Why do you just...
Okay, good. You've heard of my adventures, and you're concerned. Okay. Besides my strange encounters with her during your travels, you've never heard of this Sara Oakheart. So I've discovered Sara Oakheart. Good. And you're troubled. I'm troubled too. There are few now in this age who have even heard of the Palantiri, much less concerned enough with them to steal them. Now remember, that's an important thing. You'll recall, of course, that Aragorn and Gandalf are going to come by the Palantir later on in the story when Wormtongue hucks it out the window, right? So although Wormtongue is Saruman's servant, he has no idea what the Palantir is. It's like a big shiny rock. He doesn't understand in any way the significance of the Palantir and what it is and what it can do. This is another thing that it's easy to lose track of when you're reading Tolkien, sort of the amounts of time that have passed. I mean, the days since the Palantiri were in use are so ancient that even like rumors about their existence have pretty much died away. Most people have never heard of them, and if you held it right in front of them, look, it's a shiny rock and there are like crazy lights going on, they won't have any idea what it is and what it can do. And this is important, I think, to remember also when Pippin steals it later on, is that he's drawn to it and he knows he shouldn't take it and he knows he shouldn't put a rock under Gandalf's elbow, but he has no idea what he's doing at all, really. He just wants to look at it. And not into it. He wants to look at it, right? Anyway, so Gandalf, of course, makes an excellent point that it's weird that she even knew that it was valuable enough to steal, where like Wormtongue thought it was sufficiently cheap to, sufficiently expendable to use as a projectile later on. Okay, so what should I do? Return to Golodir and help him search for Sara Oakheart the Palantir. I totally would have guessed that I would do that anyway, so Gandalf, actually you weren't that much help, but that's okay. You fear only evil will come? Oh, come now, Gandalf, more than evil will come. Frodo's burden.
Perhaps you would lend me some...
You have need of an adventurer. Okay. Frodo will be leaving. Both hobbits are remarkable creatures, and Frodo is more remarkable than most. He stepped forward to accept a charge that would daunt even those counted most brave in all the annals of the world. Do not ask me about his task. Oh, you're going to drop a hint like that and be like, but don't ask me what it is. It's totally secret. And don't ask Frodo either. Okay, right. You're just going to tantalize me like that. He may wish to speak of it, but it's better that he not do so. So speak to him, but don't ask him about what he's really thinking about. Okay, much depends upon his courage. So I'm supposed to chat with Frodo in order to prepare him for this task that you won't tell me what it is and I'm not supposed to ask him about. That's a bit of a challenge. All right, I will undertake that social challenge next time. And I will talk to Golodir. So, okay. So next time I'll have a chat with Frodo and then we'll head back up to Golodir and try to do... Hey, we're in book 9 now. Awesome. We're making serious progress here. Though the fact that we confronted and almost defeated the false king at a point which is, I think, something like halfway through volume 1 of the epic questline, suggests to me that there still is quite a bit to do. I've never really noticed how the light shining through the stained glass window shines on the floors here. That's really neat. Yeah, no particular design, it looks like, that I can see, but really cool effect. Anyway, okay. Thanks everybody for joining me. I am back now, and I should be back, I think, for a while, so we will plan to rejoin Gryfflet here next week as planned and carry on with our investigations and our attempt to get to the bottom of who on earth Sara Oakheart is and why she's carrying a fancy stick, whopping well-intentioned rangers on the head with it, and making off with mysteriously valuable palantiri. So thank you very much for joining with me today, as always, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. See you next week. Bye now.